Dear students, today we will discuss about reverse indicator alignment. In reverse indicator alignment, we need dial indicator, we need this miring tape, and we need alignment fixture and other necessary tools like spanners, etc. as per the bolts of the size of the bolts of the motor base. Now in this system or in this method, we have two units. One is called stationary and the other is called movable. Movable means where we are going to add or remove the shims for making alignment, and stationary unit means where we will not add the shims, where we are not going to add or remove the shims. It will stay as it is here, it will not be disturbed, so this is called stationary. Normally pump is for example, normally you can take pump as stationary because it is attached with piping. If you will move it, the piping will be misaligned. So we will generally we take pump as stationary unit because if we move it, the alignment between piping and pump connection will be disturbed. And we can take motor as movable. You can say this is the motor where we are going to add or remove the shims for making alignment. Now we will suppose that this shaft is not going to change its position. It will stay as it is. This shaft will stay as it is, and here this is the motor shaft. As you can see that motor shaft is downside, it is making an angle, and also it is on the downside. You want this motor shaft to be here. You want the motor shaft to be on this position for making an alignment. So for this, what you have to do it, you have to add the shim on the front support of the motor. You have to add the shim, for example, on the front support of the motor. This you have to add the shim on the front support, and this you have to add on the back support or back side. Okay. So in this case, we have to add the shim on the front side here, and this much shim on the back side of the shim. So this shaft will move from this position to this position. Now how to calculate this shim, front side and back side? Front side means the front bolt of the front base bolts or front bolt on the base of the motor where we add shims, and back side means back bolts on the base of the motor where we are going to add or remove the shims. So for making an alignment, you have to add on the front support of the motor, or you have to remove as per the requirement. Same is the case on the back side. You have to add or remove the shims for making an alignment. Now in this case, you can see here that this is your motor shaft. It is making an angle, and also it is on the lower side, downside. So there is an angular and radial misalignment. We are going to talk about the vertical alignment, vertical alignment. When we will make vertical alignment by reverse indicator method, both the angular and offset misalignment will be corrected, which means that this shaft, which is now here at this position and which is offset vertically from here to here, and also it is making an angle, it will shift from this position to this position. How it can be done? It can be done if we know the amount of shim which we are going to add on the front side, and the other one which we are going to add on the back side. Okay, so how to calculate the shim on the front side and the shim on the back side, that I will tell you, that I will teach you. Now we are going to take two radial readings, one on the stationary side and one on the movable side. The reading which we will take on the stationary side will be called BA, and the rating which we are going to take on the movable side will be called BB. Now I will take the reading on the movable side, and this reading is called BB. I will make 0 on the top, then I will go downside, and then I will take the total reading, which in this case is plus 120. Similarly, I will take the reading on the stationary unit. I will make 0 here on the top, then I will go on the opposite side and I will take the total reading. So in this case the total reading is minus 28. So these readings will be taken on the radial side and vertically. On the top we will make 0, and then we will come on the bottom and we will take the reading. So here it is 0, here is minus 28, here it is 0, plus here is plus 120. So what we are going to do is that first we will find out why this is minus, why it is plus, why it is plus, why it is minus. Dear students, if we take the reading on the movable side, okay, if I will take the reading on the movable side, I make 0 here and I then go downside. As you know that this shaft is downside, this reading. So this reading will be plus, because my fixture is fixed here, and when I take reading here down when I go to the 180 degree downside from the top, the reading I will get plus 1. Here it is plus 120. So it means the total distance from here to here is actually plus 60. Now if I take the reading here, if I take the reading at this point here, I have made this sketch of the reading. Then here the reading is coming minus 28. It means that if I fix the fixture here on this shaft and make 0 on the top, and then I come downside here, I will get minus 28. So remember that, as I told you, that here downside of this required axis, if the shaft is passing from, if any point of the shaft where we are taking the reading is on the downside of this required axis, then your reading will be plus only. And again, any point of the shaft which is passing from here, and at the same point if we are taking reading, and if it is downside here from this axis, the sign will be minus. If the point on which we are taking reading on this side and it is coming on this side, then the sign will be plus. I can give you example here. For example, in this case, if I will fix the picture, okay, the picture, this shaft will be coming on the downside here. This side is up. That's why we are getting here minus 28. Because when I extend this shaft, it is coming on the lower side of this side. So the result is that when I fix picture here, and take reading on this side, then the reading will be minus. Now I will move it back on the same position. So remember, there will be always same size here. If you get minus sign here on the movable side, it means that the point of where you are taking the reading is on the upper side of this required axis. If it is minus, then the point is on the upper side of the required axis. If the side is plus, if the sign is plus, then that point where you are taking the reading, that will be downside. In the same way, when you are taking reading on the stationary side, and this shaft, if you extend it, is coming at that point where you are taking the reading below the shaft, below this shaft, then your sign will be minus. If the point where you are taking the reading, it is coming on the top of this shaft, then the reading will be plus. Now, for example, these are the two positions where we are taking reading here. BA, for BA, we have our dial indicator is here, and for BB, our dial indicator is here. The distance between these two dial indicators needles will be called D1. Now I will give you an example. For example, now this is my shaft. Okay. Now if case my shaft is like this, so what will be my reading? What will be the reading? Now if I take reading, I am taking reading here. So here the reading will be plus, and here the reading will be also plus, because this shaft is on the top of this shaft. I am taking the reading here. Now if the shaft is on this position, then and I am taking reading on this, then my reading will be minus, and here my reading will be plus. Now if my shaft is like this, then the reading on this side, because I am taking reading here, it will be minus, and the reading which I am taking here will be also minus. So this is how you can know the position of the shaft, by plotting the line between these 2 points, by plotting the straight line between two readings. If you join these 2 points, then you will get the actual position of the shaft. So if you make a sketch keeping in view the position of the points, then that method is called graphical method. Here we are going to make alignment by formula method. So the distance between two dial indicator needles from here to here is D1, and what is D2? D2 is the distance from the first dial indicator, this is called first dial indicator on the stationary, from here to the front bolt is called D2. The distance from the first dial indicator needle to the front bolt center or front support bolt center is called D2. And the distance from the first dial indicator needle to the back side support or bolt center is called D3. So here you can see here D1 is equal to 160 millimeter, D2 is equal to 243 millimeter, D3 is 313 millimeter, and these are the two formulas. Fs is equal to BA plus BB and divided by 2 under the bracket multiplied by D2 over D1 minus BA over 2, and back side shim is equal to BA plus BB over 2 under the bracket multiplied by D3 over D1 minus BA over 2. So what is Fs? Fs is the shim which you need for making alignment. It will be you will add if it is plus. If the answer is plus, you will add. If the answer is minus, then you will remove the shim. In the same way, for the back side, if your answer is plus, if your answer is coming in plus, then you are going to add the shims. If your answer is coming in minus, then you have to remove the shim. So once you put values in these two formulas, you will get the answer for the front side and for the back side. For example, in this case, when you where BA is minus 28, BB is plus 120, D1 is 160, D2 is 243, D3 is 313 millimeter. So if you will add these values, if you will put these values in these two formulas, you will get a front side and you will get back side shim. Your answer will be coming in plus in this case. So you are going to add the shim. So if you calculate, you will find out the amount of shim which you are going to add it. So you will add on the front side this one, and you will going to add on the back side this one, and then your shaft, this shaft will come on then your shaft will be coming in this position. Now you can see here that now there is no angular and no offset misalignment. No, the shaft is not down or up, and the shaft is not making any angle, and it is in line with this shaft. So these two shafts are in line, which is the purpose of alignment. So how you got this front side seam and how you got this back side seam? By these two formulas. You will substitute the values of BA, BB, D1, D2, D3, D1, D2, D2 and D3. You can measure it very easily. You can see, I will come to this side. From here to here is D1. This is the distance between first dial indicator to second dial indicator. Then what is D2? D2 is the distance from first dial indicator to the front side support. And in the same way, D3 is the distance from the first dial indicator to the back side support. So this is how you calculate the shims by formula, and you add it. Now I will put it back in the, it was here. It was here before, and what you have done is that you have calculated the shims by these two formulas. So when you are going to substitute these values, remember that first you have to solve this bracket. Now here in this case, BA is minus 28 and BB is plus 120 divided by 2. So you will solve this bracket first. After you solve this bracket and you get answer, then you will multiply by D2 over D1. Then you will get the answer. From this answer, then you will minus BA over 2. Now in this case, because BA is minus 28, so minus and minus will become plus. So it will become plus 28 over 2 or plus 14. In the same way here, it is the same formula. You will solve the bracket first. You will put BA plus BB. The only difference is that instead of D2, here it is D3. So you will solve the bracket first. BA is minus 28 and BB is plus 120, and you will, whatever you get the answer, you will get the answer 1 plus 92 120 minus 28 will be plus 92, and if you will divide this by 2, then multiply it by d3 over d1, you will get the answer. Then you will minus, and then you will put minus 28 for BA, then it will become plus 28 over 2. So remember, minus and minus become plus. So this was all about how to make reverse indicator alignment. So reverse indicator alignment is a very simple procedure, and this method is good where there is an axial float and where the distance between the two coupling is more and where the diameter of the coupling is small. So this method is very accurate for this type of equipment where the coupling diameter is small and the distance between the coupling is little more and where there is an axial float. And these formulas are very simple. You can also use software. If you have software, you will just put the value of D1, D2, D3 and BA and BB, and you will get the answer. So when you are making this alignment, make sure that you have already done the short foot correction, and after that you will do rough alignment, and then after that you will come to do this reverse indicator alignment by dial indicators. Now I will tell you the importance of alignment. Alignment is a very, very important activity, very important maintenance task. But the purpose of alignment is to keep the equipment running for a very long time. If you make good alignment, your equipment may be running for very long time, 20, 30, 40 years. And also the power consumption will be very less because your shafts have got no misalignment, and it will result in the saving of the power, and you have less consumption of power. Equipment will run smoothly and quietly for a long time without giving any problem, without any damage, which means lot of saving in terms of money, and production time will be maximum. So it comes under the proactive maintenance also, making alignment. But unfortunately, most of the people are not well trained in doing accurate alignment, and the result is that we lose millions of dollars in every plant because of misalignment. So we have to do very correct alignment. We have to perform alignment very accurately, and we need to keep all our tools, whatever are required, and the management should be supporting this particular activity because it will result in lot of saving. And the other thing is that whenever you have got some problem, some damage, always check the alignment and make sure that all your equipment is running with good alignment. You should make your schedule for checking this alignment whenever the plant is not running, so that to make sure that there is no misalignment. It's not a question of that there should be no misalignment. What I mean is that it should be very accurate alignment. It should be near to zero. So this is all about alignment. And as far as other methods are concerned, we will also study those methods. The other method is face and rim alignment and laser alignment, and plus there is alignment procedure for vertical machine also. So we will go later on to these methods also, and we will discuss about these. So again I will repeat this procedure. So in this procedure you have got two readings you take by dial indicators. One reading you take on the stationary unit, Stationary unit means where you are not going to add or remove the shims. The reading which you take on the stationary unit is called BA. On the top you make 0, then you come on the bottom and you take the total reading. This reading can be minus or this can be plus. If this reading is minus, it means that at the particular point of the shaft where you are taking the reading, if it is on downside, if it is minus. If it is plus, then that particular point where you are taking the reading will be on the upper side of this shaft. That's why we made this sign here minus and this sign here plus. So when the reading is minus, it means that the point where you are taking the reading is on the lower side of this shaft. If your reading is plus, it means that the shaft, the motor shaft is passing from the on the upper side at that particular position where you are taking the reading. So this is plus and this is minus. In the same way, if we move towards the motor side or movable side, if your reading here is plus, it means that particular point where you have taken the reading lies below this axis. And if it is minus, it means that particular point where you have taken the reading is on the top of this required axis. That's why we make here minus sign and we make here plus sign. Below this required axis is plus and above this required axis is minus sign. And this shaft here again on the lower side is minus and on the upper side is plus. This shaft will stay as it is here. We are not going to change its position. If the sign is minus, it means this shaft is passing from the lower side at that particular point where you are taking the reading. If the sign is plus, when you are taking reading on the stationary unit, it means that particular point where you have taken the reading is on the upper side. So this is how you interpret the readings with reference to position of the shafts. So the other thing is that when you are rotating the this alignment fixture, rotate both couplings so that same point is always facing the other point when you are on the top. So that will eliminate run out. And that was all about reverse indicator alignment. Thank you very much. I hope to see you tomorrow for another lesson. Goodbye. Thank you very much.